Hello and welcome to Code Override. If you're a member of the channel, thank you. If you're not, consider subscribing for more Java content. In this video, I'll be showing you guys how to manually compile your Java projects. It's great that IntelliJ allows us to compile and run our Java projects with a single mouse click. However, it would be to your advantage to learn how to manually compile and run your Java projects. There might be a case where you are in an environment that does not allow for integrated development IDEs, and you will need to be able to compile and run your Java projects manually. So what I did was go into View and then go under Appearance and hit the presentation mode if you want to make your IDE look the same way as mine. And I want to add two things. I want to go into Tools, I'm going to add the project mode, and I'm also going to go ahead and add the terminal because this is where we're going to be typing in our Java commands to compile our Java source files in this project. Now, the first thing I want to do is compile and run this class, right? So as of Java 11, we can now compile single source Java files, okay? So if we just have a single file, then we don't have to use the javac command to produce the .class file and then have to use the Java command to run the .class files, all right? So now what we can do is just pass in the Java command and then the path to the file that we actually want to go ahead and run. In this case, it's going to be hello world.java. That's the source file. So one more thing that I didn't tell you guys in the last video is that when you create a Java source file, the naming convention needs to match the actual name of the class. So as you can see here that we have this class right here. It says hello world, and then the class name is also hello world, and it matches case for case. That is the convention for creating Java classes in Java source file. They need to match. So what we're going to do is we're going to type in // pass in source because we need to go through the source folder. And then we need to go into our intro because that's the path to our class. Type in code, and then we can type in hello world and then .java. And then hit enter. And now you can see that we get the text printed to the console. Welcome to Code Override. So in Java, you can actually have more than one class definition in a source file. You can have more than one class definition in a source file. There are restrictions to that though. So there are restrictions. The first thing is that we need to have at least one class that has the same name as the source file. The second thing is because since the javac command actually compiles the class that we define, the second class that we define, or the third class into their own .class files, there are restrictions to that. So to the access modifier. So we need to give it a default access modifier. And we're going to talk about default access modifiers when we dive deeper into classes. So to create a class with an default access modifier, we're just passing class, and let's call this class California. All right, we'll do California, and we're going to do open and close brace. This is going to go ahead and create the class, and this is going to create the body of the class. All right, so all the logic for this class goes in here, and in here we're going to go ahead and create a public void method called greetings. All right, so we're going to create a method called greetings, and what we want to do is we want to print out a greeting. So we're going to type in SRT here for system out print line. Remember the shortcut from the first video, and this is a way of actually outputting text to the terminal, all right, or the command prompt. And what I want to do is want to pass in a text here. So text in Java, which are called strings, right, go in quotations. So we're going to type in greetings from. And what we want to do is we want to go ahead and append something to the string, So what we're going to do is use a method that is given to us for free, all right? So when I say it's given to us for free, every Java class that you create implicitly extends from object, all right? So for example, if I were to go ahead here and create an object, so I'm going to create object equals new object, all right? And if I did object dot, you can see here that we have this get class method here. All right. So when you extend a class, what you do is you inherit the methods from that class. So it looks something like this. And when we dive deeper into classes, we're going to go ahead and do this because you can learn classes without learning how to extend stuff. You're going to extend object. And because this is implicitly done for us already, our IDE is going to cry. So if I click on this and I go to this little light bulb right here, it's going to say remove redundant extends object. The reason is because since it's already done for us implicitly, we don't need it, right? So I'm going to go ahead and hit this and it's going to remove it. The good thing about IDEs is that they will help you improve your code, all right? So for beginners, it might be a good thing and a bad thing. The bad thing is if you don't know exactly what it's improving and the reason why it's doing it, then you're not learning much, right? The good thing is that it's going to go ahead and improve your code regardless. So what we're going to do is we're going to use that free method that they give us called getClass. And what we're going to do is hit dot and we're going to get the simple name. All right. So what is it doing? It's getting this class. However, it's just going to get the name of the class without the long path. Okay. So we're going to hit simple name. Right. So now that we have that, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and just squeeze this up a little bit. And what we're going to do now is we're going to create an object of type California. All right, so we're going to type in California, which is a class. Then we're going to give it the object name as California. And then we're going to actually instantiate the object. So for example, if I just did this, this is called declaring a class, all right, an object. This is declaring an object. And then if I said California equals new California, this is actually instantiating the object. So here, this is going to be null, right? And this right here is going to create a new object of California. So what this is doing is this is going to copy all of the methods and stuff that we wrote in here into this California object so we should be able to access it. However, you can go ahead here and do this in one line. So you can do the same thing in one line. It goes new California, and now you create that California object and instantiated it. Now, what you're going to do is say California dot, and then now we can access all of the methods that come with the California object. So in this case, we have the method greetings, okay? So now what we can do is we can still use our Java command, and by hitting the up arrow key, you can access the stuff that you've typed before. So if you hit up key, arrow key, it will give me the stuff I typed before. Now hit enter. And now you can see it says, welcome to Code Override, greetings from California, all right? So now what we can do is we can go back into our Hello World class here and in the main method. The main method is the entry point to our application. So what we need to do is we need to run the Hello World class, and then it's going to go into this method. And what it's going to do is it's going to go ahead and print the first statement. So in Java, a statement is a complete logic. It's something that stands on its own, all right? So it's going to go ahead and print out system, out the print line is going to print out the text, welcome to Code Override. And then next is going to go ahead and create and instantiate California object. Now it's going to say California.greetings. Now what it's going to do is it's going to say, well, does this object has this greeting method on it? What does it do? So it's going to go into this greetings object, and it's going to say, oh, it wants us to actually print a text to the screen. So greetings from, now it says get class. So get class is going to get the actual class that created this object, and it's going to get the simple name. It's going to get the name without the path. So let's say, for example, that we wanted to actually not get the simple name here, and we took that off, right? So now if you go back here and run this class again, you will say that it actually says, welcome to Code Override, greetings from class, which you don't need, intro.code.california. It literally just went through the entire path because we defined two classes within the same .java file. All right, so you can see here we have Hello World and we have California. So there are two classes in one source file. All right, so I hope that makes sense. So what happens if we actually had two source files? That means that we can't just use the Java command anymore, because the Java command was specified for only one source file. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead in intro.code in this package, and we're going to create a class called California. All right, and the IDE is going to go ahead and complain because we already have a California class already defined in here. So let's go in here and let's just copy the method in here. And then we're going to go ahead and delete this. And now go back into our California class, and we should paste our method in here. All right, so now you have your California class in one source file. And you can see that the source file actually matches the name of the class itself. And the IDE creates one for you. So there are no mistakes. Everything matches fine. Now, what we need to do is try to see if we can use our Java command again with two source files. And when we hit enter, it's going to say that cannot find symbol California. So it can't find the California class. The reason is because it's looking for the bytecode of the class and it can't find it. It just can't make sense of what it's looking at. So what we need to do is we need to actually compile this class the right way. So how do we do this? We need to type in javac for Java compiler. So in this case, we're going to type in a dot, all right, then / type in source, right, and then we're going to type in intro, and then we're going to type in code, and then we're going to *.java. Okay, so what it's going to do is it's going to look for any files within this directory that has the .java extension, and it's going to go ahead and compile that. So let's hit enter here. And you guys can see that if I were to go here and click on this, it's going to refresh. And now we have a California.class file, and then we have a hello world.class file. These class files contain bytecode. Bytecode is the language that the JVM understands, and it's going to go ahead and use that to produce machine code, which is going to run natively on our computers. All right, so now how do we actually run, this program now, since we have our .class files? So now we can go ahead and use the Java command again, and this time we're going to pass in the class path. You can actually type in class path, or you can type in CP, and then we're going to put a dot / and then type in source again and hit tab. And this time we actually want to give it the package name of the class, or the package path of the class that we need to actually start executing our program from. In this case, is going to be intro.code.hello-world. All right, type that correctly. And now if we hit enter, you can see that it says, welcome to code override, greetings from class intro.code.california. If you want to go ahead and fix that, we can just put that and then get simple name again. And now what we can do is hit the up arrow key, 1, 2, and then we can compile the files again. You have to do that. And then you can hit the down arrow key, and now you can actually run the file again. So now we get our welcome to code override, greetings from California. All right, guys, this will be it for this tutorial. If you are a member of my channel, thank you. And if you're not, consider subscribing for more Java content. I will see you guys in the next video. Have a great night. Bye-bye.